right now, God, have your way. Move through me and Chantel. Bless us to get this word out. Somebody needs to heal in Jesus' name. Because I was in the fifth grade when my mom died. So just that transition alone, it was a big transition. And a lot of people don't know, but I tell people this. I really and truly did. I ran away with my brother. When
All right, welcome back to Inspiring Beauty and Believers. My name is Song, and today we are going to be talking about the voices of women in parental abandonment. So, my guest today is Portia, and she's going to be sharing with us her story of how she has healed through her journey of parental abandonment. Hey, Portia, how are you doing today?
Hi, Chantel. How are you doing? Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you. So,
Okay, I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead, girl.
Okay, well, okay, my name is Portia Badari. I lost my mom when I was 10 years old. She has five kids. It was four girls and one boy. Um, After my mom passed away, we were actually split up. Me and my brother ended up going with our father. My other three sisters, they went with some of my mom's side of the family. So we didn't see them for about a year and a half. Um, and that was a rough time for me because like I said, my mom, she passed away. I was young when she passed away. Actually, we all were. The ages were 15 to 6 years old. So we had to. We were split up. We went to different homes and stuff. Me and my brother went to go live with my dad's side of the family in Kansas. My three sisters, they lived in Texas with my mom's side of the family. So um, growing up, I did have separation anxiety. I would go to sleep, but I would scream in the middle of the night in my sleep. I didn't know I was doing this, but my grandparents and stuff would tell me that's what was happening with me. To get me to calm down and to overcome that, they put me in the same room with my brother. They figured if they put me in the same room with him, they were going to see how it worked out. So that ended up helping me. I began to sleep through the night. Um, I think for me, and then years on down the road, we were a couple. Like I said, I'm sorry, a year and a half. We were all separated. We were reunited probably uh, about a year. So after that year and a half, we were all reunited, but only four of us stayed together. We lived with our father, and he battled addiction. For about the first year and a half, it was okay. But with him dealing with his own demons and him dealing with, I guess, just the pressures of being a single father, it just
Mhm.
all weighed on him. And then too, with my mom passing away, there was a lot of assumptions and stuff with him have been involved in it. I'm just gonna speak my truth. I gotta pour my heart out on this one. So
Yeah.
um he was dealing with his own things. We end up getting, long story short, we end up getting taken away from him, and we went into a children's home. So I have a sister. She went to a group home, and then our oldest sister, she didn't want to go with him, so she ended up staying with our other side of the family. But me and my other two siblings, the two younger ones, I'm a middle child.
Mhm.
My other two siblings, they're younger with me. We ended up going to a place called Buckner's Children's Home, and we stayed there until we graduated from high school. So yeah, I went off to college at Buckner's Children's Home, and I think I stayed there for from 90, I want to say 96 to 99, and I ended up going off to college. So when I was taken away from my parents, I suffered anxiety. Um, I started doubting myself. I I, I, I won't say I got depressed, but I'll say that maybe it was depression, because I would cry for my mom. So I just wouldn't do it around people. I'm a middle child, so kind of balance stuff out. I had to grow up really quick, and I don't know if you hear that saying, like a middle child is just the older sibling and the baby sibling all put into one. So I had to
Yeah.
grow up really quick because I had to stay with my two younger siblings. I made the choice to stay at that children's home while a lot of my friends, they were running away. Some of them started doing drugs. They were sexually active. Some of them were just rebellious because like I said, we live in a children's home, so you deal with a lot trying to cope. I stayed so that I could make sure that my brother and my sister graduated and went out into the world to do what they needed to do. I can tell you, I did build up resentment because I didn't understand what was going on with me. I didn't understand why I had to lose my mom. I didn't understand why my father couldn't be there for us like we needed him to. So I built up resentment and I held in anger for some years. When I went off to college, I was majoring in music, but I got a phone call out the blue from my father. And I remember I was in the at my apartment partying with my friends and stuff, and I got that phone call. So I'm like, "Who is this?" And I heard his voice, and at first I wanted to hang up the phone, but then another part was me like, "You can't keep running, Portia. You can't keep running. Tell him how you feel, and then hang up the phone." So I talked to him for a little bit, and they told me he was in the hospital and stuff. And I kept it short with him, but I try not to be disrespectful. But that night, I went upstairs. There was a guy I was dating at the time. He asked me if I was okay. I went upstairs and I sat in my room and I cried for a little bit, you know. And at first, I figured that I was okay and that you know I was gonna get through it and stuff. But it started having an effect on me then too. Every time I hear his voice, because I was just upset with him. I was upset because I wanted him to be there for us more. I was upset because our mom had passed and I was hearing rumors that he did it. He may have done it. I was upset because I wanted answers. So that made me build up resentment. A part of me felt like that for years, but then another part of me, after just living with my father and forgiving him and talking to him more, another part said he didn't do it, you know.
Right.
So um I felt different from people. So when you're abandoned by your parents, it definitely will make you feel different, you know. You feel peculiar, you feel out of place, especially when the holidays come of Father's Day, Mother's Day, you know. You feel like the oddball, um the elephant in the room, big elephant in the room. um I remember when we first went to the children's home. The guy that I married to actually grew up at the children's home with me, and
Oh.
so yeah, he told me, he goes, when y'all first came, they told us who y'all were, but they said don't ask you anything about your mom, you know. So and our mom, she passed where our house caught on fire in '91, around Thanksgiving. So yeah, it was pretty tough for me. I just always kind of felt and when you're abandoned, or you get anxiety. Separation anxiety is what I'm gonna say. I
Mm.
say separation anxiety. It definitely, but on the good hand, it made me stronger. It taught me how to live. It made me more dependent on God. It made me build a relationship with God. Growing up with my mom, we had to go to church. You didn't have to go to church whether you wanted to go to church or not. And that's one of the things I loved about my dad. Even though he was honoring, he never stopped us from going to church, and he didn't hide stuff from us. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, he was just straightforward. He didn't hide anything, and he always spoke to us about life, and making sure we handle our business, and not to get pregnant at an early age, and you know um, watch the friends we keep, the company we keep, and he showed us how to basically how to get out and get it. I'm gonna be honest with you on that too, because he was always doing stuff. My dad is ex-military. He's a veteran, so like he always stayed occupied doing something. Like, he wasn't the type of person to ask people for anything. My daddy always worked and took care of himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, Also, I was trying to say that I got closer to God, like just me going through all of that stuff, and my dad not depriving me, my mama raising us in church. It helped my relationship with God get stronger. So with me going to church and building a strong relationship with God, that's what helped me get through a lot of stuff, because I really honestly believe if I would have stayed where I was, I'd probably be on drugs right now. I'd probably
Right.
be or dead somewhere, or on the corner selling my body, because I just my mom died when I was young, you know what I'm saying? So there was really no parental guidance, and with them taking us away from my father, you know what I mean, and living in that children's home, even though there was grown-ups there to help raise us, they're not your parents. So you see what I'm saying? Some kids, they rebel and they run away. And a lot of stuff run away when you get out in the street. I mean, a lot of stuff can happen when, you know what I'm saying, when you get out in the
When you
streets
get
and you're
out
taking care of
there.
yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was one of when you were talking about, everything that you had gone through. One of the thoughts that came to my mind was, did you have resentments or feel, because you went through being angry? And for one of my experiences, it was, well, I had with my mom and my dad, but then I also had my godmother who, she raised me for a good portion of my life until she passed when I was about 11, and then that's when I went back with my mom. Um, and so I didn't realize that I had resentments towards her for dying and leaving me. I felt like she had abandoned me too, even though she couldn't help that she got sick and died. And then I also had resentments against God, even though I went to church every Sunday. And, I love
Hmm.
God, but I was like, why would you let this happen to me? And I know many people walk away from God because they feel like, how could God let this happen? So how did you deal with that?
After my mom died, my dad moved me and my brother to the country. So we were
Mhm.
like six. Okay, so we were from Kansas. My mom passed away in Fort Worth, Texas. So we went. Me and my brother went from Fort Worth, Texas, to Lawrence, Kansas. Out there, even in Kansas, my grandparents and them, they were in church there as well. Um, when I would go to services and stuff like that, I wasn't worried and I didn't think about stuff outside of the service. That's when everything would go through my mind and stuff like that. And I've always been a happy kid. Um, Mom, like, and I'm glad that I have all those siblings too. Somebody to share the hurt, with, and share the pain with. I had somebody that could relate and talk to me.
Right.
So with her having all those kids, that's one thing I am thankful for. I thank my mom and my daddy for having a lot of us. It's five of us, but and I want to include my cousin too. He lived with us as well. So with us six being together, it just kind of made stuff easier. After we all kind of got separated, those were the hard times. That's when that anxiety kicks in, the separation anxiety kicks in, the doubt. You kind of get scared because you're by yourself, you're alone. The people that you knew, the home that you once went to, the bed that you used to sleep in, the table that you guys ate at, the tree that we climbed in and played at, none of that was there. Everything was different. I ended up going to a new school because I was in the fifth grade when my mom died. So just that transition alone, it was a big transition. And a lot of people don't know, but I tell people this. I really and truly did. I ran away with my brother when I was 10, and I went in because they wasn't gonna let me go with my father. They weren't gonna let none of us go with him because the speculations that was going around. But all I ever wanted was my dad. So when they took us from that graveyard back over to our cousin's house, I was looking for my dad, and I told God, if I get the opportunity to get in the car with my father and leave with him, I'm gonna take it. Me and my cousins were playing outside, and my dad pulled up across the street, like three or four houses down from where we were, and I looked at them and I hugged them. I was like, I'm out of here. I left, and I left because I was getting hurt while I was down there. When I was 4 years old, I was hurt. So, and I never told my mom and dad that. So I left, and I figured that I wanted to go with my dad. God, to answer your question, God helped me get through that, a lot of that stuff, because I know I could not do it on my own. Like I said, being a middle child, I don't know. I just kind of feel like something was always different about me. My mind, I was very smart and very advanced. I didn't tell my siblings them that, but I knew it. You know what I'm saying? I knew what I was. I was washing dishes when I was 5 years old, 5 and 6 years old, when they didn't want to. So I'll be washing dishes. I used to take, when I was at school, I would take paper and I would cut it and I would put it together to form like play paper buildings and stuff, and make chairs and stuff out of the construction papers. Make sure, like, just try to like build stuff. I build like houses and stuff. So I knew I was advanced and stuff. I'm also left-handed. All my mom's other kids right-handed. So
Hey, let's get
I always knew. You know what I mean? I just knew something was different with me. I'm also a singer. I love to sing. Um, Something else happened to me. I noticed. So before my mom died, I think I was like, I want to say 6 or 7 years old. I was sitting on the bed. We were all supposed to be taking a nap, I'm guessing, but I was watching. I wonder who is that? Was it Bill Graham? Bill Graham was on TV, and our TV, it was one of those old time box TVs that had the two antennas that come up out of the side like that.
Uh-huh.
So he was on TV, but I could see his face. It was really the picture was really staticky. But I heard him saying something. He was saying that whatever you believe God for, you ask him and you'll get it, you receive that. I just wanted the TV to work, you know. So I'm like, you know, if this is true, I closed my eyes, all my siblings would sleep on the bed. Bless this TV to work in the name of Jesus. And I went to sleep. You know, when I woke up, girl, that TV was working. And I was just like 6 or 7 years old. So I always knew there was something in me. I knew that there was something in me.
Yeah.
And I was always curious about God. Like I said, the way we grew up
Mhm.
in the Church of God in Christ coming up. So, I mean, I just had, I don't know, it was just instilled in me, and I just had to just hold on to faith. It just, like, I don't know, it just kind of seemed like it came natural. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
just stick with God. That's because even when my mom died, God gave me a dream. He showed me. He showed me a lady dying in the fire. But he also showed me, I seen the window. I seen a door open up with a man. He grabbed this lady's hand and he pulled her out the fire. She was running around the house screaming. And I seen him take her to heaven. And so with that, just with that dream alone, it gave me hope. It gave me hope. I didn't know what I was looking forward to because I was 10. That was when I was 10 years old. I'm 39 now. So I mean, it just gave me hope. You know what I'm saying? It made me think like, okay, well, there has to be another place because there has to be somewhere else other than this. Because I saw this man take this lady in the fire, and I saw the flames go out. And when he grabbed her hand, it was like she was like, when she seen that door open, she quit panicking, and she had fell on the ground. But when he opened that door and he reached out and grabbed her hand, it's like she calmed down, and he wrapped a robe around her, and the flames went out. And
Wow.
so he took her to heaven. And the next day they told me my mom had died, right? um there was a church right outside my aunt's house because that's where she left us. She left us at her sister's house. Right across the street from her sister's house was a church, and I'll never forget that. Church is still there, and her sister still lives in that house. And now on the top of that church there's a cross. So it's like, I don't know, it's just something that's been telling me, you know.
Right.
I feel like he's been, I know he says like I'll be with you, but I can actually say God has been with me. He has been with me my whole life. I used to try to tell him I seen her, and they'd be like, "Be quiet, Portia. Go sit somewhere and sit down. Get your tail somewhere and sit down." But I'm like, I saw her. I saw it.
That's
So
amazing.
and that's another reason why I have peace. I do have peace. You know what I mean? Like I do struggle because there's just certain things, you know, like growing up, you know, as girls we hit puberty. When you
Hmm.
want to talk about boys. Well, my mama didn't play that stuff about no boys though, but still, you know what I'm saying, right?
Uh-huh.
So, you know, or just trying to get a job. You know, you want to start wearing makeup. You got to get ready for prom and your eighth grade dance and stuff like that. Those type of things that was hard for me. You know what I mean? Just not having somebody to be there with me. You know, or even, you know, when we start puberty and we girls start having menstruals and stuff like that. You know, there's just certain stuff you don't want to share with everybody else. You know?
Right. You want your mom for that to help you through
Right.
that.
Right. Right. There you go. Yeah.
Wow, that is an amazing testimony. Like, and I am thankful that God gave you that dream so that you could have that peace even before you found out the news, and so it could help you through those transitions in your life. I know it doesn't make everything better, but having that peace, knowing that He's with you, is so extremely important. And so I'm thankful that you got that, and that you were able to work things out with your dad as well, and still have him there for you in your life.
Yeah. And right now, and it's crazy because like I said, we lost our mom when I was 10. Well, I lost my brother 2 months ago, and
Mhm.
he was the only boy in the family. So we're going into another chapter. You know what I mean? And just as God gave me peace with her, I know that He'll give me peace with that. I love my brother dearly, and he loved all five of his sisters. You know, it's just, I don't know. me coming on here today just made me feel better because this is like one of the first times I haven't cried talking about him. So that's strength right there. And like every time I find myself getting scared, every time I feel myself doubting myself, or every time I feel the enemy trying to attack my mind and tell me, that you're gonna die, God speaks positive into me. Like, I made you a promise. I told you that if you'll stick with me, I will save your family. I told you if you stick with me, I'll give you everlasting life. He tells me that I'm not the head, I am the tail. He tells me that everything that's in me is not dead. You know what I mean? He tells me that my family is going to live. He tells me that if I stay with him, that he'll save my family. And that's what I asked him, God, save my sisters, save my father, continue to watch over us all, bless us to all get close, they're pull out their gifts and their talents and just help us all. Um, just recently, my oldest sister, I have an older sister. She actually just opened up her first group home for women and children, and that's located in Lancaster, California. I have some stuff in the making that I'm doing as well. I can't put it everything out there just yet because I want to make sure that I do it right and that I'll be able to show you in the future. Maybe we'll get to have another talk. But
Yeah,
before I
we'll come
go,
back around and do this update.
yes, I want to show you. And I'm sorry, I should have got a better picture, but this is my mom. This is Beverly. I don't know if you can see her.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Thank you. And I should have got a better picture. I was just rushing. And I'm gonna show you my brother and my dad. That's my brother, my father. That's my brother in the blue. His name
Hmm.
is Perry Jr. And that's my father, Roscoe. Perry Sr.
Oh.
And I'll show you another update of my brother. Here's my brother again. This is Perry. I love you, Perry. Roost. We call him
Oh.
Rooster Girl. That was my baby. And this is us when we were younger. This is me. That's me with that my little skinny self. I
Oh,
like
at
to
the
see,
top. Okay.
yes. And there go my brother with that red shirt on at the corner, the sitting
Hmm.
down with his hands on his knees, and that's my little sister in the front. And there go my cousin Lamar. So
Hmm.
God is working right now. I could just tell you so much, girl. It's so much. My life is really and truly, it should be a movie. I'm telling you. But in the midst of this all, I still say it was God. I couldn't do none of this on my own. It was really and truly God. He's helping me get through this, and He's helping me to be able to speak and tell my story, and to help somebody else along the way. If you would ask me if I could give anybody advice over abandonment,
That was my next question, so I'm glad you went there.
if you would ask me, I would say the first thing is to acknowledge what has happened. Once you acknowledge it, you know that it has happened. So the next step is accepting what has happened. It's hard. It's hard to accept it. But if we don't accept it, resentment does build up in us. And then not only resentment, anger and what do you call it? Fear. God didn't
Mhm.
give us a spirit of fear, and He doesn't want us to live confined to stuff. God wants us to be fruitful. He wants us to flourish. You know what I mean? He wants us to
Mhm.
grow. He wants us to live abundantly.
Yeah.
I would also say that you have to get connected with people that are going to speak positive into you, that can help you, that won't be so judgmental towards you, that'll be patient with you and understanding. A lot of people don't have compassion no more for others in the world, but you got to connect yourself to people that really love and care for you. They're going to be supportive while you're going through stuff like this, going through abandonment, and
Yeah.
understand that you're not alone. You're not alone. So you have to connect with that. And I will tell anybody, I really believe in prayer. Prayer changes things. I'm really and truly a believer of prayer. These last 3 months has been hard for me. Like I said, I lost my brother. What, the end of April? No, May. And so, and we buried him 2 days before my oldest sister's birthday, and then 2 weeks before my birthday. So, I mean, it's been nothing but prayer, girl. Prayer has gotten me through this, and I'm telling the next person out there, you really stay connected with good people and positive people that are going to speak positive into you. and acknowledge that it's happened to you and accept it and just know that you're not alone. And then two, set your mind on something positive, a goal or something that you have, and go for it. Reach for it. Reach for it. Don't stop until you achieve it. That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
Thank you. So it's my last thing. So you
Huh?
said that you majored in music. Did I hear you say you sing?
Yes.
So so what's a song? I just wanted like a little bit. I just wanted like a teaser. What's a song that really has ministered and helped you?
Oh, was I was singing this earlier. What's that? Praise is what I do when I wanna be close to you. I lift my hands in praise. Praise is who I am. I will praise you while I can. It all belongs to you. I vow to praise you through the good and the bad. I'll praise you, whether happy or sad. I'll praise you in all that I go through, because praise is what I do. I owe it all to you.
Girl,
Praise is what I do. Is what I do. I'm so sorry. If I
girl, I'm over here, listen, trying not to cry. I got, whew.
I'm tired, and I know I get my voice is raspy, but it's raspy because I've been at church crying and screaming and praising God because I'm like, God, I know you're gonna get me through this. I know you're gonna bring me out. And I'll tell you something else, Chantel. Next time we talk, I'll have a CD ready. Says Chantel, you know what? I went ahead and recorded my song. I have
Yeah.
songs that I've written and stuff I haven't recorded yet. And my brother used to try to tell me to come down there where he was to record my we're a military family. So
Mhm.
I'm up here in North Carolina. My brother passed in Texas, but I'm like, you know what? It's time, Portia. It's time to get these songs recorded. I kept telling him before he died we're gonna record it. So it's time. It's time. And so you'll hear from me again.
Yes, I'm
We have
so
to do an update.
excited.
We have to do an update. And hopefully, maybe I could do something with my sister. Like I said, she just opened up her first group home in California, and
Mhm.
she's and it's a group, it's a home for women and children. So that's something else that's going on too. So maybe she can come on here and she can give you her testimony as well.
Yes, I would definitely love that. Actually, my brother, he is in the process of building his group home as well. He works in group homes and so and
And
it's
that's
just
something, so we gotta stay connected, girl. We have
yes.
to. We
Yes,
have to.
it's going to be a beautiful thing. I think right now, a lot of people, God is speaking to multiple people about getting out there and sharing their testimony and walking in their purpose and their destiny and no longer
Yeah.
allowing excuses and our hindrances and our past to stop us from doing what He's called us to do because people need us. And so we have to get out there and do these things. And
Yes.
I'm so blessed to have you on here today. And
No, thank you for the opportunity of coming. I really appreciate it. This was awesome. Like, you just made my day go from here to, you know, I enjoy talking to people who can relate, and people that are trying to do positive out there. So, you have a beautiful spirit. Your beautiful soul is yourself. And I'm just thankful that you got in contact with me to do this. I'm really honored.
thank you. Thank you for reaching out. I'm glad we were able to make this connection and we will definitely come back together. I would love to talk to you again and talk to your sister. Um,
Yes.
and help other people to get the healing that they need on this journey as well.
Yeah.
Is there
Thank
anything
you,
else
Chantel.
you wanted to share?
No, it's not. Thank you so much, you guys. Y'all stay encouraging right now in the world that we're living in right now. Times is hard for everybody, and times can get dark. I just want to encourage somebody to be the light out there. Let's shine in the midst of darkness. That's what God is causing us to do. Let's do that. Let's be there for one another. Let's stay positive and stay uplifting towards everybody. I love you guys, and thank you so much, Chantel, for having me on your show.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel so you can continue to walk with us through this healing journey. And like, share, comment down below. Let me know what you thought. I know that this ministered to you. I know that Portia's beautiful voice ministered to you because it ministered to me. So
I'm so sorry about the hoarseness. I'm sorry, but I had to. I
it's
still
just,
did it for you guys.
yes, if that was your horse sounding sigh. I can't wait to see what it sounds like on the CD. So I'm looking forward to that. But I
Thank you.
definitely will. I will get Portia's information. So when she does drop the CD, we can go ahead and put that information in so you guys can connect with her as well.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Portia. I love
You're
you
welcome.
guys. You have a great day, and I'll see you next time.